Well, Roman, I'm going to bring our next guest in. You're welcome to stick around for the rest of the show because you might even know this guy. I don't know if you do or not, but this is we're bringing in the Comets reporter and actually the overall sports reporter from the Rome Daily Sentinel. It's Mr. Ben Birnell. Ben, how you doing?
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Roman and I have had a few conversations, but not for a while. So we know each other.
Yeah,
very cool. So how you doing, Ben?
Not too bad. How about you guys?
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Actually, enjoying Utica hockey this season.
Yeah, for sure.
He's got a front row seat. I'm sure he's having a blast.
It's nice when you've got two teams that are doing really well. That's for sure, and everyone's very excited about it, and it's great to see teams have success.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, of course, we know the Pioneers have just been a success machine throughout the years. Even though the women's team had a great season this year too. That was a heartbreaker they lost on Saturday afternoon.
Dude, Georgie's a beast.
Yeah,
dude, she's a beast, man. She's awesome.
Absolutely, but Joe, we're going to shift gears a little bit here and talk about the Comets. Of course, the other tenant at the Adirondack Bank Center. I say the other tenant, right?
The other tenant. 15 tenants. We got soccer. We got lacrosse. Right. We got the Harlem Globetrotters right now. It's a busy building, bro.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hey, it's better than not having anything in there.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yes, absolutely.
It's true.
But Ben, the Comets they're 5-5 in their last 10 games, which is not bad hockey at all. It's just I think everybody's gotten so accustomed to winning just about every game. Let me ask you. I mean, you've had a front row seat for this entire season. I personally think it's just just a lull in the schedule, a little bit of a rut. They'll get out of it. Is there any reason to be concerned?
I don't think so. I think it's just like you said. It's an ebb and a flow of the season, and maybe they're a little out of sorts right now, but I think you're going to have that every once in a while. I mean, I don't think there's anything to be concerned about. They're still playing hard. I mean, it's not like they've given up or anything. They're getting the opposition's best right now because they're the best team in the Eastern Conference. And I mean, like I think I was watching, Jason when he was on the show, a few days ago, he said, for like Cleveland, that's their like Stanley Cup, right? So I mean, who knows what's going to happen? I mean, I was just looking at the standings too, and I think it's like 11 points separate second through sixth place, and like the top 5 teams in the North get in. Like that's going to go down until the end of the season. Like that's not going to get figured out right now. And I mean, second and first is 10 points, and that's been fluctuating for the last couple of weeks. So I mean, when you've got North Division games on tap too, it's going to make things interesting. And, you looked at that game against Hershey too on Friday. That was not the best Comets performance. That, I mean, it might be ranking lower down the list in terms of performances, but there's something to be said about a good goaltender too. And, I think Fakale was pretty good that night.
Yeah. Especially that third period. He made those 3 huge saves. He just took the air out of everything.
And I mean, you get those goals from Hershey, and I think goals 2 and 3 were goals I think maybe Schmid would like to have back.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
It almost made him look like he was playing at NHL speed and not the AHL speed when those goals went by him. And which, like you said, he wants him back, which obviously any goalie would. Yeah. But it just looked like he wasn't. We've seen his A game.
Yeah.
And that wasn't his A game. And I think he can admit that as well if he was here.
Right.
I don't think a lot of people had an A game.
No.
I think a lot of them will tell you that. No. I mean, I think there were a handful of guys that were decent that night, but I would say for the most part, they weren't on.
Right.
And, I don't know what the reason for that is. It's just one of those nights.
They had a layoff before that Hershey game too, didn't they? Like a
game that's break, the thing. They had like the 3-day off, and they come back, and that could be part of it. But you'd like to see maybe a little bit better start than they had that night too, especially coming off those couple of games. So and then obviously the next night against Syracuse wasn't the best either.
No.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Just put in Patty.
This is the first time we've had to like talk like this all season.
I know.
This is the first time.
We forgot what it's like.
I mean, it'll happen. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
You know, I think the word I use with a couple other people is I don't know if course correction's the best word, but I mean, you start 13-0 and you're rolling through the first couple months of the season. At some point, it's gonna slow down.
Right.
Like, you can't
absolutely.
You can't keep that continued pace over 72 games, 76 games. I mean, that's hard to do. Like,
yeah.
And that's what the fan base got spoiled on it too. Like, you know, I mean, you got fans that are booing them out of the building. It's like, wait, what? Are you guys really booing this team?
Oh my God. We played one bad game at home. People are booing.
You can have a bad game. Like, it's
man, I'll tell you, I mean, 72 game season's not easy.
Yeah.
No, not easy at all.
It's a grind. It's got to be.
It's one thing to have a 30 game season in college. That's freaking cupcake compared to 72.
Right. So,
man.
Ben.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Ben. So you get to interact with these guys quite a bit. Obviously, it's winning cures everything, and things are good. But kind of what it looks like, even when they're playing rough, they don't seem to ever really be down mentally. They seem to be pretty into it.
No, and that's the thing. You kind of talk to them. Like I remember talking to AJ Greer maybe a week or two ago. And it was something along the lines of like, this team doesn't get down. It's you just kind of roll with it and roll through it. And, you know, talking to Ryan Schmelzer too, I asked like, how are things going in terms of, you know, the leadership group and, you know, kind of taking these young guys, because it's a good mix of guys that have experience. And, you know, at this point in the season, are guys really still rookies? I don't.
Yeah, right.
Right.
You've already played how many games? Like whatever. At this point, yeah, they're technically rookies, but they've still got that experience. So, you know, I think it's a learning experience for a lot of the young guys too in a league like this. I mean, you look at like Alexander Holtz or you know, I mean, Fabian Zetterlund's now in his third pro season, but. Right. You know, in talking to Ryan Schmelzer, he's like, everyone seems to get along and enjoy each other's company, and it makes it easy. It seems like for them, you know, in terms of that kind of that leadership and kind of helping bring them along. And you know, it's not just the guys that are wearing letters either. I mean, you've got veterans like Frederick Gauthier and you know, obviously Flynn and Jim. Yeah, you know, Wotherspoon. I think he's. You know,
he's been around a while.
He's been around a while.
Getting him back is going to be awesome.
Oh
yeah, and I mean, great to talk to him about his Olympics.
Sure.
You know,
that was a great article.
Yeah, I actually just looking at it. Yeah, let's plug it. No, yeah, for sure.
Why not? It was great. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's like, I got to talk to a guy who played Olympic hockey. Like,
when am I going to get to do that again? Who knows?
Right. Dude, yeah.
Right. So that was the one. You know, even when he got named to that team, I was like, oh, can I talk to him? And he had already left. And so I'm like, well, you know, talk to him when I get back, but I definitely like to talk to him. And, you know, it's too bad that the experience wasn't like a full on open kind of maybe experience like it had been in the past. I mean, because the way that Tyler kind of referred to it was you know, kind of a more bubble atmosphere, and they didn't, you know, get out and everything. Because the one thing that I was kind of interested in, like, oh, were there other athletes that you got to meet? And he was like, not really, because, you know, everyone's kind of in their own bubble, and you don't want to bother, you know, all these other people. I mean, this is the top of the top in each of their sports. And like, how much do you want to be like, hey, what's up? I'm from the Olympic hockey team. Do you want to chat?
Right.
Hey, figure skater, like, let's chat about we're here. And, you know, so
that's awesome.
You know, I know Tyler mentioned getting to go to see the speed skating, which he liked. You know, so you know it's cool to hear, you know, those kind of stories and everything. So
yeah,
no, that's really cool.
Well, it's Scott. It's cool to see a guy like that. Really, like, I mean, this is a guy who's played in the show, right? He's maintained such a good attitude here, which is tremendous. I mean, that says a lot to young guys. Like, it sets a great tone in the locker room.
Absolutely, because I mean, you can have players that were in the NHL and then they're not happy about being sent down, and that can actually permeate through the rest of the room, which creates problems.
You trying to point out any X comments by any chance?
No, I'm just saying.
Arsenal. Arsenal? Wasn't Arsenal one of those guys that did that?
Goldie wasn't happy. Bearchi wasn't happy.
Yeah. Well, listen, that was a long time ago.
They gotta go back to riding a bus. That's why.
Yeah. No,
There you go,
you're
Rome.
right, dude. There's no more flying, bro. You're on the bus again.
Nope. Nobody wants that.
Somebody said, like, you go, you play in the AHL and you're used to, like, you get the dinners, the team dinner, and it's like comes in like a styrofoam container. You go to the NHL, the team dinner is like a full spread in a whole like banquet hall.
It's a different. It's it's a weird adjustment. It's like you said, it's cool to see a guy like with. I mean, he's been around. Like he's
right.
He's been everywhere. So for him to like embrace the city and the team is great. Like that's fantastic.
It seems like everyone has a pretty good attitude. About being here and playing on this team, and I think it starts from the top and it kind of just filters its way down. I mean, you look at Kevin Dinneen and he's kind of embraced it too. I think the whole team has embraced it since they started, with this whole affiliation, and everyone's kind of just
ripping off 13 games help too.
Well, and that'll certainly help things a lot too.
Yeah.
But you talk to him like, hey, well, how do you like playing for Kevin Dinneen? And everyone seems to say the same thing, and that, they enjoy it. And I mean, I think the Alexander Holtz quote got put out there a little bit and said that it was his, the best coach he's played for. And I had some people be like, well, that's a shot at, whoever. And I'm like, well, he's played for a lot of coaches. Like it's a shot at anyone if you're going to look at it that way.
Right.
I mean,
it's so funny how people can be so negative sometimes. Yeah.
They always got to look at the negatives. Always.
But I mean, that hiring Kevin Dinneen was just a stroke of genius.
Definitely right place, right time, I guess. I don't know what the thought process was with Anaheim and San Diego. Another coach became available. They wanted him. I guess I understand it from that point of view, but then you've also got, Kevin Dinneen, who's got all this experience and, is now creeping his way already into the top 15 career wins in the AHL. Like, I think he's doing some right things, and, you've got guys that seem to enjoy playing for him. So,
sure.
Yeah. And, he's overdue to get a shot in the NHL too. And
don't say that.
I mean, I know. I don't encourage but what I'm hoping, ideal situations that Lindy Ruff stays in New Jersey for the rest of the season, of course.
Yeah.
And then what happens in the offseason.
I'm sure, Philly might be looking for a coach right there, Rome.
Oh my God.
You should bring in Torts.
It's hard.
Bring in Torts.
I hope Danny Briere gets the job eventually. That'd be great.
Danny Briere is in my favorite sports picture of all time. Dude, him and Ryan Miller and the old butter knives and goat heads outside of the arena with it snowing. Oh, wow. Nostalgia.
Well, listen, Jeremy, Dom, I'll blow your minds, really. I mean, if Kevin Dinneen does go up to New Jersey or goes to Philadelphia or whatever, how about if the Comets brought in Torts, since he did play a few games here in the early 80s?
No.
Why would you put that on Benz and everyone else that has to cover the team?
No.
Have you seen how that man deals with the media? Are you kidding me?
I don't even know. Oh, that would be an interesting experience.
Yeah. I mean, the stories you'd have forever would be.
I'd honestly stick around downstairs after games just so I could watch these pressers.
Dude, can you imagine that Laval game when Dinneen was on the ice? If that was Torts,
Oh my God,
we're having a little different conversation here, gentlemen.
Well, and I'm still very confused on what happened.
Yeah,
I didn't completely see everything, because they're celebrating, and then all of a sudden there's two teams, and that was the whole thing. And I don't.
What I couldn't figure, how did they give Coach Dinneen a misconduct when he was trying to break it up? That's one of the parts where I get confused. Like something got said somewhere along the lines. I don't know. That was an interesting experience, that's for sure. So. I just thought the best part was they're all brawling in center ice. And
Zetterlund's
just skating around, getting the crowd going. It was awesome.
That was great.
Yeah,
it so reminded me of the end of Slapshot. It really did.
Comes with the building.
I was going to say, the movie was shot there. I mean, you might as well just keep it going.
Yeah, right. Slapshot 2022. Yeah.
Well, I did post a picture the other day, the day that Slapshot was released.
I saw that
because I have the screenshot from the movie still on my phone, so I just keep it every year about this time when it's like, oh, Slapshot got released, then I go over that same spot and be like, well, here's what it looks like now, and so people seem to get a kick out of that. Hanson Brothers liked it, so that was
there. You go.
That's
Sweet.
always fun.
That's awesome. Can't help it. Every time I hear the anthem at the yacht or the Adirondack Bank Center, to think about the Hanson brothers. How do you not, right?
Shut up!
I'm listening to this song. It's the best. It's the best. It's awesome. The one episode that Barry's not watching, we were talking about Slapshot.
I know, right?
I know.
He's going to be so bad at us.
Yeah, he's going to listen to this back and pull his hair out.
Well, he's got about as much hair as I got, so we're good. Don't worry about it.
You said it, not me.
Yeah, I know. But anyways, it's pretty apparent that the Comets are going to make the playoffs, Ben. Who do you think they'd match up well with in the first round?
Ooh, see, that's tough. It's like they've had a little bit of trouble against Toronto this year. Toronto's always tough, though.
Yeah.
I mean, and you never know what, you've got the trade deadline coming up, and you don't know really what's going to happen there. You kind of hope that, the team doesn't, change drastically, or at least maybe they get a little help. It's the Torontos and the Rochesters that seem to have given them a little bit of trouble this year.
We've only seen Rochester 80 times, so
yeah.
Don't.
So I think though a playoff series against Laval would be intense.
It'd be intense,
say the least.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how this all shakes out. On paper, you could be like, well, they should win that, but then it's the AHL, and then you play the games, and I mean, going back to that Hershey game on Friday, I mean, how many people do you ask and say, okay, who's going to win this game? And everyone's going to probably say Utica. Like, I don't think people went into that game thinking this is going to be a 4-0, loss for Utica. So, every night in the AHL, I feel like anyone can win, and especially if you're not on your game, it gets real interesting real quick. And so I think any of the series that they could have against the teams in the North Division that are still in that kind of fight right now are going to be interesting series. That's for sure.
For sure.
It is too, because I mean, the Comets are not going to be really in danger of losing anybody for the NHL playoffs. And that's not to mean, be a mean knock against New Jersey. That's just reality. And Rochester's probably going to get some players back too, because, Buffalo's not going to make the playoffs. So that whole dynamic, Laval's going to get players back from Montreal. Probably they're going to want to see him get some AHL playing time if they make the playoffs. Yeah. So that kind of changes things a little bit too. Is there an area that you think the Comets could maybe use a little bit more help in, say like an AHL level trade, or not saying trading, not looking to who you think should get traded away. Just, is there an area that maybe they could use some help?
I would like to see kind of a more veteran goalie, maybe more so for the Devils, just to have your
stability here.
Your rookies kind of come back down and play. I think I pointed it out on Twitter. Like, you really want your young guys, like your AHL, your goalies, to spend a lot of time in the AHL. Like, I mean, you look at it. Thatcher Demko played one NHL game in his first 2 years.
Yeah,
like you want those guys to kind of just spend the time in the AHL, have success, and then go up and kill it from there. I mean, I knew once Thatcher Demko left here that probably wouldn't see him again. I mean,
yeah.
Boy, look at him now, man.
I'm not surprised at all by what he's doing. Like, just a smart kid who puts in the work and extremely athletic, and just I'm not surprised at all. So my point is, you'd like to see kind of the young guys back. And so I know that, that's the one area that I look at the Devils and I say, you need a veteran guy, so you're not like playing carousel with your two, Nico Dawes and Akira Schmid.
Yeah.
It's like, there's so much depth on, the Comets roster right now. Like when you're having a good night, you look at those 4 lines and you're like, well, which one's the top line? And then the depth on defense with Waterspoon back. Like if you're not on top of your game, like you're coming out of the lineup.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
You want that competition. I think, Vancouver was trying for that for a number of years when they were here, and maybe it didn't work out quite as well as they would have liked.
Jeez.
But they had so many
dog.
injuries, like most of those seasons, that like it became impossible sometimes. So you hope that teams can stay healthy around this season, this time of season, and kind of get rolling as these last 2 months of the regular season get going.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. I mean, and you think about it. Now, maybe some don't realize it, but I mean, this is Dawes and Schmid's first professional season. So what you say about them being in the AHL is absolutely spot on. Right. And who would have thought Scott Wedgwood being claimed by Arizona was going to throw such a monkey wrench into all the plans, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, and I hear some people kind of rip on Merrick's mittens, but here's the thing. Being a backup goaltender in a professional hockey team has got to be one of the hardest jobs there is, because goaltenders are very, they need to play to get into a rhythm, and you got to feel for the guy because he's, he sits 8 straight games, and then all of a sudden he's thrown into the wolves. It's like, geez, I mean, what do you expect, right?
Well, Rome, did you have that when you played in the ECHL? Did you have your goalies go up and down?
Oh yeah, crazy. My team in Norfolk, we had 7 goalies, I think.
Oh.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
This is so off topic, but I have to tell Jeremy this. So Jonesy just texted me because the Blues are playing the Rangers right now.
I know it's 1-0.
He just goes, "This effing goalie." I go, Shesterkin, man.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, going back to the goalies, I mean, well, you see Dawes go to the NHL, and then Mittens is coming back to Utica, and then Dawes comes back, and then Schmid goes out. And then they both come back to Utica, and Mittens is gone. And it's like a shuffle every week.
It's crazy,
every week.
It's crazy. Have Bennington almost got sent down to the ECHL the year that they won. It's that crazy being a goaltender in professional hockey. It's nuts. It's nuts. If he didn't, because Bennington was like refusing to get sent down to the ECHL. So the year before that, they traded him to Providence, and then he went back to San Antonio, and then eventually was on the Blues, and then they won. It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Ben, is there anybody in New Jersey could potentially pick up to stabilize that goaltending situation?
There's so many different options. And it's like, if you're New Jersey, like, who do you give up? Like, you've already picked up Gillis, right? And that's a future considerations thing. Like,
right.
To me, if you're New Jersey, do you really want to give up picks or prospects, like right now? Like, with the kind of the situation you're in, like you're young and you want to eventually make a push, right? You want to get into the playoffs. Okay. At this point, do you really want to give up picks and prospects to get there?
Right.
That's where I'm at with it. Like, that's just my opinion, because it's like, you look at, again, going back to Vancouver, right? How often did we see them give up picks and prospects, and where
did they end up?
Where did they end up?
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at right now with, okay, I see, these names that pop up for New Jersey, and I'm like, okay, well, what's the, what are you giving up though? What's going with that? And that's where I land. I don't run a hockey team. I just,
right.
I look at these things and I say, well, do you really want to do that? So I get wanting to make a team better. Obviously you got to make a move somehow, but, and I know that some of these guys are upping their stock because of how well they're playing in the AHL right now, but how much do you also want to mess with the kind of the chemistry?
Right. The chemistry. Right. Yeah,
exactly.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
The other part of it too is I think, at least from the AHL level, looking at the ECHL level, I know that Kevin Dinneen has said we're trying to be cognizant of, what they have and how we can kind of help them. And to me, it seems like from the top, it's kind of filtered down a little bit too, because there was a point where New Jersey was not using all of their taxi squad spots. They could have easily filled all 5 of them. I think at most, if I remember correctly, they were filling 3.
Right.
So I think there was kind of the thought that, hey, we're trying to help everyone out here. And even if it's not really like conducive to how it should be, so I think there's that mindset where we're trying to help, these teams have success, but at the same time, like it's a fine line. So, I don't know what the next few weeks are going to bring.
I like the fact that how well Utica's playing
right
with Adirondack, bringing these guys down, putting them in the AHL level, giving them that bite, that taste. And then, all right, you're not going to be here for too long. And I think they understand that going into it.
Yeah.
Other than Mittens, because Mittens is going back and forth every game.
Yeah.
Well, too, if you think about it, it's actually smart on New Jersey's part to leave the Comets pretty much intact. Because, like I said, and again, I'm not picking on them, but they're not going to make the playoffs. So let this team gel for a season. Let them gel and hopefully get a deep run into the Calder Cup playoffs. And that's just going to galvanize. Because let's be honest. I would say it's not out of the realm of possibility that half of these guys are going to get a real good look at making the Devils next year.
Yeah, I that's the other part of it too. Like some of these guys are going to get looks towards the end of the season.
Right.
You'd have to think, Riley Walsh will get an opportunity. Yep. Maybe Kevin Ball. Maybe
who's out?
Ball's out.
Had to.
Maybe Holt Zetterlund. I know at the beginning of the season,
I think Zetterlund's going to get a look.
They wanted to see, Chase DeLeo too. And at this point in the season, it's kind of the young guys though. So I think there's going to be a little bit, change in that too. So how much do you really want to mess with a roster? Like you asked, well, who do you make a trade for? Well, to me, it seems like these guys have been playing pretty well together. And like,
right.
Do you need someone to come in and help?
Oh, here's one to throw at you though. The Canadian Olympic team had a couple of pretty good goaltenders. Their starter, what was his name? It's escaping me off the top of my head, but he actually played pretty decent. And of course, they had Devin Dubnyk on that team.
Dubnyk.
Well, I mean, I think he's 36, I believe, at this point. But if you sign him as a unrestricted free agent, which he is, just to plug the hole in for the rest of the year, I don't
anything's better than what Edmonton's doing.
Well, and then with the Devils too, with Bernier out and Blackwood, like, are you going to need someone for next year? Like, that's the other part. Like, so a lot of questions that I don't have answers for.
Yeah. Ben's the voice of reason in the New Jersey front office. They're like, all right, we're going to make this move. And he's just in the corner. You don't agree? Well, I didn't say that. I don't know.
I think I said something about, because it was about the time that there was like Devils and Canucks trade or something. Like this was, a rumor or whatever. And I think I said, well, Vancouver's going to want picks and prospects, and New Jersey shouldn't be giving that up. And someone's like, why would you side with New Jersey and not Vancouver? And I'm like, why am I siding with anybody? Like, I'm just saying what
exactly.
Dude, I'm just a writer. I don't know.
I'm just saying, from my point of view, like, I don't know if you want to give up picks and prospects. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
I'm not saying they're listening to me. Like, it's if the New Jersey Devils are listening to me on Twitter, something has gone wrong.
Right. Could you imagine? They're just like,
they're like, well, what does that kid in Utica have to say? We should see what he's got to say today. Like,
right.
They're not doing that.
Yeah, your Twitter account's like the Magic 8 Ball.
Like,
dude,
they don't need the 30-something from Utica who just writes stories and tweets. Like,
right.
It's great.
Dixon's going to be available in a few weeks, so.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Dude, might as well strike where iron's hot. Get him in there.
Oh boy,
can't be worse. It can't be worse, right?
Well, I got one more question for you. Then I'll let you go. But would you like to see the Comets play a few more out of division games as opposed to all the intra-division games they play?
part of me says yes, but like I understand the schedule.
Right.
You know, I would like to see maybe more games against Hershey, like more Eastern Conference teams. Like, yeah, the West would be nice too, but from the it costs money standpoint,
Right.
I don't know how that, you know, how feasible that is for.
Yeah.
Hop on a bus and go to California. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Well,
long
hopefully
would
later
that
on.
be? That would be
Get your kicks on Route 66.
yeah, that would be quite a bus trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like I don't know. I personally would like to see, you know, 2 or 4 more games against say like Hershey or you know, Wilkes-Barre just to make Offert's references and use the Dwight Schrute bobblehead gift that I have. Like I got him right here.
That's great.
Love that.
I bought it. Yeah, I bought that at the Steamtown Mall in Wilkes-Barre. So
That's
Scranton,
awesome.
Sweet.
yeah, I went to Scranton. I went to the mall. It was there. I bought it. I said I need the bobblehead. So
Totally get that. Love that.
yeah, I mean, even looking at those you know Providence and Bridgeport teams, like
Right.
Yeah.
you know, I don't know if 2 and 4 games are enough, and do you really need 12 games against Syracuse from a rival standpoint? I get it, but I guess
Right.
we'd like to see a little bit more against the Atlantic Division, maybe.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, they say,
Go ahead, Scott.
no, I was just saying, they say the variety is the spice of life.
Well, I was going to say, if you spice it up a little bit, I mean, you look at Hershey and Utica, especially as far as like minor league hockey goes, there's so much history in both those towns. It'd be fun to kind of ignite a little bit of a rivalry there. Just to play them a little more.
Back in the Devils' days, that was their rival.
Right. Yeah.
The Hershey Bears was their rival.
Right.
That's why I said, like, you know, I think the question was a few weeks ago on the show was, you know, which rival would you like to reignite in Utica? And it would be like Hershey. And you guys all looked at me like, huh? And I'm like, well, that was their original
opportunity,
rival.
not calling them the Kisses, but we'll get past it.
Oh, boy. What's wrong with you?
The town was built for the chocolate factory, Jared.
I know. I understand that. But, I mean,
But that's okay.
Would you want to play for a team called the Kisses?
Yes.
Of course you would.
I would.
Of course you would.
If I played for the Syracuse Mets, I would be mad that we weren't the salt potatoes all year.
Let's talk to a hockey guy. Roman, would you like to play for a team called the Kisses?
No, I played for the Swamp Rabbits. That was bad enough.
Dude, Swamp Rabbits is awesome.
That was a great name. I like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I do like the Swamp Rabbits as well.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Dude, that's okay. Fine, pick another Hershey's chocolate, Jared. They can be that.
Well, Ben, would you like to cover a team called the Kisses?
The Hershey bars.
Oh, boy.
Yes,
There
it is. Yes, the Hershey bars. Yes, love it.
Brain never
Would I
stops.
like to cover a team called the Kisses? I don't think so. I don't. It seems a weird thing to write. Like I just the Kisses goal or
right.
I don't know. Like,
seems like
that would be something in the front office that would literally be something like I don't know, sexual harassment instantly.
he could kiss that job goodbye.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's with the puns
Hey,
alone.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Kisses alone. Twitter bio. I cover kisses.
Yeah,
The puns alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Be amazing.
Oh my goodness, that is
you have to
awesome.
capture the spirit of the thing. That's for sure.
It's with time. It'll come. The love will come.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Ben, local doings. Are you going to be at the Wilkes Utica University game this weekend?
We'll have Steve Jones at the game. I'm not sure what my plan is yet. For that day, but I know we'll have someone covering it. So big game, that's for sure.
Sweet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Rome. We never asked you. What do you think about that? The Utica University.
It's kind of weird. I agree with everybody.
He goes with everybody.
Everybody.
The alum chimes right in. He's like,
Yeah.
No, it's great for the college.
Yes.
I think it's really great, but it's definitely going to be weird.
What are you going to call it now? It's not Utica College. UC. It's not UC. What are you going to go with it?
It was UC when I was there, so it's still UC.
Rome, I said if you wanted to make it university that bad, it would flow a little better if it was University of Utica.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
You're still UU though, so
Yes.
I mean,
Which
I
is
don't know.
wild.
Are they still doing the UC at the anthem?
Yes. Yep.
All right, good.
Loud
Which Gary
and
did
proud.
tweet on that saying, I
okay.
still want to see the UC
Yeah.
being said.
If
Yeah,
Gary says it,
It's the mayor.
it's happening.
Religion.
It's the mayor.
It's got to be. It's got to happen. So I don't know.
Oh, that's awesome, man. It's crazy.
That is great. That is great. Well, guys, you know what we didn't get to do today? And it just dawned on me. We didn't get to
Trivia.
do breakaway trivia.
You're going to do it now.
I'm going to do it now because I can't go a whole show without doing breakaway trivia.
And you
I
know
just
what?
can't.
Rome stuck around, so he.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully he'll.
Is this a UC related?
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. Now, I don't know, Dave, did you get that file I sent you? Or
Yeah.
So I
Like which one?
for our friends from the Balls Army, we got a couple of businesses.
Oh yeah, those. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's pull those up for there it is right there. That's Josh Amadio's business. That's Priceless Inspections, Home Inspections. The number's right there on the screen is 315-525-8725. If you were looking to get your house inspected, that's the guy to call. And then Scott Schuster has a DJ business called Epic DJ Services. The number is 315-219-3568. I'll tell you what, if this is the guy that yells out balls out at every game, you can imagine what he's doing for you for a DJ service. So
There's a plug. There's your ad right there. That's
Yeah.
there it is.
That's a good
right there.
Shameless plug. He's also a heck of a card breaker. Anyway, you know what we should do? I got an idea. It involves Roman some other time, but go ahead. Well, to bringing up that, I think it'd be a cool idea if we got like
Stogie Golf.
Well, no, that too, but Rome and maybe if we got another alum or somebody and we like went back and like got an archive clip or just watched an old UC game, I think it'd be really cool. Like maybe the championship game or something would be sick.
What,
do like
what
some
were the
in-game
images you sent
commentary.
me?
But it'd be like Mystery Science Theater 3000.
I don't know. Rome, do you want to relive that?
I'd watch it.
Well,
We
let's
do
do the
it,
breakaway
Gary.
trivia portion of it. Then we'll discuss our. Here's breakaway trivia. Who is the Utica Pioneers men's all-time points leader?
Is this for me?
This is for everybody.
everybody. For
Whoever
everybody.
wants to go first.
I'm going to go last.
Okay.
Is it Jimmy Sokol?
See, that was going to be my guess.
That's your guess, Dom?
That was
Yeah.
130 something?
Ben, you got a guess?
Part of me wants to say Calandra, but that doesn't sound right. But I'll go with Calandra.
Shake it
All
up a little bit.
And Jeremy.
Timmy Kaufman.
Jeremy
Oh, I
got it.
That's what Josh said in the chat just now.
He
God
aced
about
it.
him.
It's Timmy Kaufman.
He
Sokol had
aced it.
129.
139 points, 58 goals, and
Kaufman had
81
32.
assists. Played
Wow.
from 2008 through 2011.
Landshark had, he was in third. I don't know why I know that.
Lanch.
Landshark.
Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that you are always there and you talk to everybody all the time?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
That would be a smidge of the reason why.
Just a little bit.
Jared, could you tell us who's the all-time winnings coach in Utica college history?
Oh, that's a tough one.
I got to think about that for
That's
a second. Hold
tough
on.
one. Well, it's not. It's not
Yeah.
Jerry Malloy.
Well, while he's still thinking about it here, I'll do the wrap up. All right. Ben, where are we going to find you on social media?
Oh, well, now I got to remember. It's BB_UR Sentinel because it changed. So that's on Twitter. So, and then, stories go on the Sentinel Media Company's Facebook page. But I got my own, like I said, my own Twitter is, and tweet from there. So follow me there. Largely because it looks like a happy face, the B and the underscore.
I appreciate that you like to use the all the time too. I see you tweet that quite a bit. It's great. It's great. It's so, dude. You tweeted at me one time like, what do I know? And I was like, that's so perfect.
I actually have that saved in my phone, so I can just just a few clicks. It's not something I have to copy and paste every time. So
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Roman, I forgot to ask you, does Stogie Golf have a Twitter account?
Yeah, we do. Got Twitter, Instagram, and my website. I have a TikTok too, but that's
Oh,
for the,
that's-
that's for
that's
the
all-
spring. That's for the
That's all,
spring.
that's all Dom. That's all
Oh
Dom
boy,
right
yeah.
there.
Hire Dom to be your TikTok consultant.
I might, man.
I crush TikTok. Like, it's
He is the king of TikTok.
ridiculous. Like, it's insane.
It's a hell of a way to friggin' get noticed. I'll tell you
Between
that.
my two account, I have like 10,000 followers.
Nice. That's sick.
Yeah, I know a thing or two. It's not that hard. You just keep doing it.
Yeah.
It's really not.
I know.
And if you get the
You just
bonus
got
plan, he'll do a
post
dance on there too. So
That's the thing. Never dance. Never
Once I get
dance.
to go on the golf course, we'll be doing some stuff.
Dude, I got really lucky last baseball season with all the sticky stuff thing going on. Trevor Bauer made that video. Like, what is that? So I just recreated it with everything he said, and it got 1 million views. 978,000. Like, it was close to 1 million. It was like right there. But yeah,
you know what's going to beat that record? I'll tell you exactly what's going to beat that record. If the Comets win the Calder Cup and you get that tattoo.
Yeah, Ben, I don't know if you know about that, but I made a promise on the show.
I think I saw it on Twitter.
There's a number of people, including the Section 233 crazies from the New Jersey Devils fans, are holding me accountable. So Rome's like, oh god,
And we will have the Sentinel there covering it as well.
Oh boy.
You're going viral, pal.
Oh boy.
listen, I'll do it. For the gram, man. I don't care.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I think
Well,
I saw
guys-
you post something about it on Twitter or something. So
You know, I figure I'm a big Utica guy. Why not have it on, the old body?
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to get a Pioneers logo because Gary will bash my head in probably.
And it'll probably change.
Listen, if that happens, you get the Comets tattoo. We got to put it on the video board to open the season next year. It'll be part of the pump up video.
Yeah, that'll, yeah, totally, 100%. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, right. I already have enough reputation at the audience.
Oh man,
Can't walk through there without shaking 15 hands. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, well,
No offense. Love all of you that are listening.
you are the mayor of the odd.
wrong place to say that. Wrong place to say it.
They know I say it with love.
Oh boy. Well, you see that.
Can you give me a Balls Army shirt? I don't know. Why don't you ask them?
Yeah, right.
I'm slinging shirts like Scott over here. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh. Alrighty. Well, listen, guys, Roman, thank you for coming on and taking the time. And Ben, same here. I mean,
guys.
this has been a lot of fun, guys. We really appreciate you coming on. So we'll be recording Tuesday next week because we have a Comets game on Wednesday night. So we are definitely all going to be there for that one.
I hate weeknight games.
Yeah,
Syracuse.
well, you'll be there and you know it.
I have to
Yes.
be there.
Yes, it is Syracuse. You're right.
You'll be there, and you'll hear me from 206. Great job, Jer!
Oh, wrong. You
right.
don't know. I clean the ice for the Comets.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh boy.
Well, thank you to Roman Amaretto. Thank you to Ben Birnell, for Jeremy Roberts, for Dom Grill, for Dave the Save Warner. I'm Scott Kinville. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week on Marty's Illegal Stick Hockey Podcast.
Love the towel.